aware of the tendency to use the language of climate change in terms like environmental sustainability and sustainable development. But we also want to use our words wisely and with care, and we really want to say it how it is and actually call this a crisis, focusing on ecological imagination, possibility, climate action, and justice. And with the risk of sounding a little bit petty, no, wrong way. I'm going the wrong way, that's right, thank you. For the Manchester Museum Partnership, which is the City Art Gallery, the Whitworth Museum and the Manchester Museum, we'd rather rephrase the question as our approach is about the climate crisis. And given the complex, dynamic and urgent nature of this crisis, we'd also prefer to speak of grappling with it rather than tackling it, to acknowledge it's slippery, it's constantly changing, and it's very difficult. And so our approach to the climate crisis is based on the fact that it's as much of a cultural issue as it is a scientific one. And while it may refer to environmental change, we're very much concerned with thinking and acting as if we're separate from the environment or having any capacity to master it is a very big problem, because that's how we've got in this mess in the first place. So in brief, how we're going to, and how we are grappling with the climate crisis is with humility and care, but also through 4 key areas of work. So firstly, we have a responsibility as civic organisations. We're very much committed to reducing our negative impacts, increasing our positive ones through the processes, the actions and decisions that we make as individuals and as organisations. Secondly, this is about communicating. And while the slow and expensive and time-consuming medium of exhibitions is not always the best way of doing this, we use these exhibitions and our collections as the starting point for activities around learning and engagement, both in and beyond the museum and gallery. So this ranges from light touch approaches that might seek to develop a connectedness to nature through to very focused campaigns and activities that confront topics of public interest. As communicators, which is our second part, the third one is our convening power as organisations, our ability to bring people together, and not as neutral or passive spaces, but actually as safe, inspiring and pro-social spaces, where we can explore issues of real care and concern to people. And finally, at the heart of this is why we do it. It's because we want to inspire action and behaviour change, both through being a catalyst for action and change, but also by helping to nurture and hone the skills and courage that it takes to make things happen. So, as an example of something that has worked and that we feel has had real impact, we had a rubbish night at the museum, which basically grew from the concerns of a local neighbourhood called Mosside, where they had a really poor state of rubbish collection and recycling. And it was having massively negative impacts, not just as a public health issue, but also as an environmental problem, and on the quality of people's lives and the relationships that were being formed between people. And we were contacted by a member of a community group who has been working with some researchers at the university. And the research had actually revealed how complex the causes and effects of the residential rubbish problem were, and concluded that simply telling people to change their behaviour was absolutely not enough, and something else needed to happen. And so we worked together with the community group and the researchers to develop this rubbish night, which aimed to create the conditions for residents, policymakers, landlords and waste professionals to work together to build the intellectual and the practical capacity to deal with waste and rubbish more effectively. Sorry, what? Where? Oh, I thought that was... Right, thank you. So, our rubbish night included displays of photographs and artwork, policy critiques, research and readings, but it was more about just show and tell. We were also bringing together people for group discussions about the problems and solutions, but also how to build an agenda for action. Over 350 people came on the night, and there have been some considerable real changes. There's been action as a result of this. And genuine improvements to the environment. You can see the before and after. And this for us is a really important impact we've had on a very local level. So, provocation. Business as usual is not an option. So the role for cultural education, therefore, is to support and nurture the collective action that is needed for a radically different future. We want to know how we might co-develop a future-facing curriculum and what that might look like. We know it's about nurturing ecological imagination and action and a new ethic of care. We want to draw from and celebrate the wisdom and lived experience of all sorts of people. And we know that we need to remain firmly rooted and grounded in our own organisations. That's our people, our spaces, and our collections. And we want to know how to do that. Thank you.